Is psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner school really that hard? Well, in this video, I'll be going over what to expect when going to psych nurse practitioner school and tell you how difficult it really is. This is just my opinion, but to be honest, my answer is you're just gonna have to wait and find out, so stay tuned. What's going on, everyone? It's the Psych Dude back again with another video. If you are new to this channel, let me formally introduce myself. I'm the Psych Dude. I'm a board-certified psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. In this channel, I go over several different subjects to educate the public about mental health, ways to improve your overall lifestyle, and topics related to psychiatric nurse practitioners. I hope you all enjoy this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for future videos, and don't forget to add me at Instagram at ThePsychDude. Make sure you stay until the very end of the video to hear about my experience throughout the NP program. Welcome back, Psych Dude family! So you're probably wondering, how difficult is Psych NP school anyways? So my program was an MSN program, so I'll probably just speak to in terms of just the MSN Psych NP program within itself, but specifically focusing more on the Psych NP portion. So upon entering the RN real world, many nurses always have that misconception of thinking that psych is probably the easiest specialty, and this is probably because of nursing school and the clinicals. All we did was talk to patients and shadow. Unfortunately, after working in psych and actually knowing everything, this is where it gets difficult. Psychiatry is so hard. I don't mean to say knowing everything, but this is where psychiatry is extremely difficult because you have to learn behaviors, you have to learn certain cues, and a lot of that is really hard to grasp at first, but it definitely does take time. And so how hard is it really? Honestly, it depends on how much work you put in. I mentioned in the previous video about how I highly recommend getting nursing experience prior to going to nursing school. This is because you learn so much in the real world and you're able to apply that to NP school, learning about signs and symptoms, learning about the disease process, learning nursing interventions. Having that knowledge will help you in NP school tremendously, and many of those things taught in school won't be necessarily brand new to you. And if you are RN, did you have any students that were experienced LVNs in your RN classes? And you probably realized, or even speaking to them, that a lot of them thought that RN school was not as hard as everyone was saying. Do you know why? It's because they were already familiar with the subjects, and since they had experience, they could already relate or they even heard of it. RN school was so hard for someone without experience or without a medical background because everything was relatively brand new. So depending on if you have experience or not, NP school can be manageable or extremely hard. But I can tell you one thing, this is just my opinion, but NP school isn't close to as hard as RN school. Probably because we were drilled so much in nursing school and it was so much information that was all brand new. So going back to what to expect during Psych NP school. So for my school, which was in California, my program was only 2.5 years long. The first 2 semesters, I did the basics master courses like cultural diversity, theory, research, and economics. But along with those courses, we had to take the advanced 3 Ps, which are advanced patho, advanced pharm, and advanced physical assessment. Think of this part of your NP schooling to be manageable. The reason why I say it's manageable is because it's strictly studying and memorizing. You already took these classes in your entry-level nursing courses, but it's just expanding on those topics, so they are familiar. So another reason why I feel it's manageable is because you don't have clinicals yet. Usually programs don't start until the 3rd or 4th semester. So after that 2nd semester of Psych NP school, this is where it gets relatively difficult. 3rd semester for me was rough. 3rd semester I had to take advanced psychopharmacology along with my first class in the specialty of psych mental health. Pharmacology is already hard within itself, but imagine how hard psychopharmacology is. For me, it was tough because in these classes, you had to learn how to do initial psychiatric evaluations and learn DSM-5 diagnoses along with learning so many different medications. It's like learning a new language. You have to learn their trade names, generic names, FDA approval, side effects of the medications, contraindications of the medications, off-label usage, what transmitters are and which transmitters it hits. These neurotransmitters are relatively hard. Our required textbooks was Stahl's Essential Psychopharmacology. If you're familiar with this book, you probably understand how hard of a read it is. And if you're not familiar with the book, please go get it and tell me how hard it is, please. It's so hard. It takes about like a day or so just to read 3 pages, just to have a full understanding of what the book is trying to say. And I wish it was a lot easier. I say that this third semester was one of the hardest semesters because everything you're learning is relatively brand new. If only RN programs focused on psych longer than 8 weeks, but oh well. And not to mention what you're learning in this semester is the foundation of your career as a Psych NP. Which brings us to the 4th and 5th semester. So the 4th semester is tough because this is the first semester with clinicals. You don't know what to expect, especially when you are starting clinicals, and depending on where you're starting, you don't know who your clinical instructor is, and it's stressful within itself. Imagine coming back from summer break and starting clinicals. Yes, starting clinicals, coming from break, a nice vacation on the beach in Hawaii, and the next day you're starting clinicals and having to learn what you learned in the 3rd semester and having to be able to regurgitate all of that information in clinicals. It's hard, especially as a student. This 4th semester was extra hard for me because I worked full-time and went to school full-time while completing 20 plus hours of clinicals and having a newborn. But honestly, difficulty will vary these 2 semesters based on if you're either working full-time or not. The 4th semester, you're pretty much learning about certain patient populations, which for my school was adult and geriatric populations. We have to learn about signs and symptoms of mental health diseases. You learn new DSM-5 diagnosis with their diagnostic criteria, while still learning about medications and what they're used for in this population. But now, imagine going to clinicals and having to prepare for clinicals. It's so much, and this is where it gets crazy. But then comes along 5th semester. So 5th semester is hard. It's hard because 1, you have the didactic portion, 2, you have clinicals, and 3, you have the culminating event course, which includes the thesis or the final MSN project. So along this 5th semester, it gets relatively okay because you're starting to get familiar with medications, doses, diagnoses, and even get comfortable interviewing patients. But this is where they throw a wrench in your plans. This is where they start to incorporate children and adolescents, and if you know pediatric patients, everything's different compared to adults. This entails different doses, added diagnostic criteria to diagnose which medications you could use, which medications you can't use, not to mention how hard it actually is to interview a child and the adolescent group, along with learning the legality side of psych mental health. So with learning all of those things, going to clinicals, now you have to worry about the culminating event course so you can actually graduate. And not to mention, you have to take or review for the boards. It's tough. So here comes the part you've been all waiting for. How was my experience during NP school? Honestly, I thought NP school was pretty tough and that it isn't a cakewalk. But like I said earlier, it's not as tough as RN school. My experience was good and hectic at the same time. I was able to work full-time throughout the whole entire program. And not to mention, my son was born at the beginning of the 3rd semester. Side note guys, being a parent at that point was tough, but thank God I had my wife on my side. Love you, babe. I was able to complete clinicals and still manage to graduate on time while maintaining good grades. My experience overall was tough, but worth it because now I'm able to do what I love on a daily basis. It's tough, but you have to be able to manage your time relatively well and put your priorities in place. Well guys, this concludes my video. I hope this video helps you learn about how difficult Psych NP school is. I hope this gave you further insight on what to expect. Honestly, I don't mean to scare you or scare anyone from applying to Psych NP school, but this is the truth and I just want to put it out there. But don't worry guys, I'm going to make a video on how to survive Psych NP school. Psych NP school isn't easy, but it's manageable as long as you put your time and effort into it. As always guys, thank you for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe and click on the bell button to be notified when I come out with another video. Make sure you spread the word about my channel on all of your social media accounts and to all of your friends that might be interested in being a Psych NP or working in mental health field. Also guys, don't forget at 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a special giveaway. Right now at the time of recording, I'm probably at 450. So at 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away a cool prize. I totally want to share what the prize is with you guys. Honestly, it's pretty cool and it'll help you out in the future if you want to be a Psych NP or a future Psych NP. But at 1,000, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys all know about what my prize is. I want to build up the suspense. Honestly, it's something I use every single day now and every single day I was a student. So think about that and how precious that may be. So guys, as always, have a wonderful day. The Psych Dude is out.